welcome back. The final day of the day. Final day of the day. It's been a long day, I'll tell you that much. Final day of the day. What am I on about? The final game of the day. How about that? Here at the Atlantic Youth Touch Cup. It's England against Wales. It's men's under 18s, and it is a game that we have all been waiting for. This one, sure to be of the highest quality, sure to have plenty of bite about it as well. Got an experienced team of officials, we've got an experienced set of players on both sides, and we have a game that is going to whet the appetite. And just in case, for some reason, you need reminding, Wales in red and England in white, and already seeing a couple of players in the Wales side, Joe, who I recognise from the mixed game as well, number 6 there in particular, Ed Maguire. So doubling up and getting through a hell of a workload today.
Yeah, that's a big workload, especially when you're going to play a game such as this. It's going to be so intense. And I think this Welsh middle will learn that trying to run around Charlie Wood, who is arguably one of the fastest junior touch players I've ever seen, is not a good idea.
England get across their subs box. Oh, so quick. It's like a sea of bodies moving seamlessly on and off the field.
Oh, and here are the twins, Tom and Adam Jack. These are two future stars, absolute stars. Come out of Chester, superb players, really direct, understand each other really well. They're just losing control as they roll into their final phase of attack.
Wales then work their way to their subs box. And you've got to think that with Wales having so many players doubling up, mixed and men's, that their use of transition, their use of their subs box is going to be absolutely crucial here.
Oh, 100%. They're going to be rotating fresh legs on and off the field all game, making the most of their subs. And England, you know, everyone knows England's game plan. I don't think it's ever a doubt when it comes to men's, boys, mixed, women's. It's run hard, run fast, get scores, concede less.
England, let's see if they can get one of those scores. Moving it wide, going to have to bounce inside. Oh, no, he's not. Oh, yes, he is. Touch comes in, good touch. Zach Burns just getting in there to close down Bailey Blackburn. But always good as a wing, just have an early sighter of what the pace matchup is like against your opposite number.
A really good touch. This is fifth coming now, so dumping in a relatively good area, scooping in a good area. They look to go open side, but Charlie Wood's too fast. Charlie Wood just shuts down the potential attack.
Wales and Maguire won't be too unhappy though with that being where the ball ends up. England have a lot of work to do to get across to their box, and they've had to use up 2 before they've got past the midpoint on the pitch. 3 now as they start to be able to make a few changes, and it's going to be 4 on the halfway line, and Wales will think that's a pretty successful little period of play there.
Cooper Bainbridge looking to scoop through, feeds it off to Sam Thorpe. Sam Thorpe, this is a 2-on-1. Oh, lovely score in the corner. That's Cooper to Sam. The NQ boys linking up, finding the winger in the corner. Superb play, and you know, like you say, Wales did such a good job to shut down the transition, but such is the quality of England that it does not matter. They can strike from anywhere.
Fizzing it through the hands, and then the wherewithal to know, give it to Bailey Blackburn early, and then as we've said, he's had a little sighter of what the pace matchup is like on this far side, and he liked what he saw and burned away for the opening score of the game. Bailey Blackburn with the try. England lead 1-0.
Yeah, this trio of English players on the pitch right now, Ellis Watts, Sam Thorpe and Cooper Bainbridge, are absolutely electric when they get going. Sam Thorpe having to act as half. Cooper taking the ball down, and now they can roll through their transition. Dylan Madge dumping the ball. Tom and Adam Jack come flying on. Fifth, scooping opportunity. Oh, he goes through, and it's a lovely try. Oh, but it's an amazing defensive touch from the winger who's able to just crowd him out.
Fantastic defence.
Superb effort
from Wales. Electric attacking from England, but Wales just wise enough to it and managing to close the space. But already we see
great pressure.
Just how much pace is going to be played out there on this field in this final game of the day. It's an electric grudge match between the two, and they are going for it.
Yeah, a lot of these players on the pitch right now are future men's opens players for sure. 32 short, Adam to Tom, Tom dummies, back to Adam. They recycled the play.
Two twins taking control when they're on the field. And the touch comes in, it's a good touch again from Wales. Joshua Jones getting that one in, and Wales will play, and they'll play towards their own box. Efficient work from Wales. Can they play with the same electricity and attack that England have shown in their early exchanges?
At the moment, England doing a good job at getting up and shutting down the space that's available to Wales, but brilliant footwork generates some space on the far side.
Yeah, Alec Davis just showing his skill set and evasive abilities. Good reach to pick up that pass from Manuel there. They use up the 6, but once again they use up the 6 right on this near side, a long way from England's box.
Oh.
Although, that being said, last time Wales did that, it looked as though they'd done a fantastic job, and then England ended up scoring at the other end of the field. So let's see how this one pans out. Again, it's good defence from Wales so far. England not quite as electric as they were in the previous one of these, and then just as I say that, buzzing through, go England, pass comes in, finish comes in, Thomas Kerr off the Archie Devlin break. Oh, this England side, they show no panic when they're short of touches, and they are clinical.
It's superb play, and again, you know, we're complimenting the Welsh defence in what seems like they do a good job at forcing England to scoop from so far out, but the pace is too much. And then the ability to pick your eyes up, pick the right option, find the pass to the winger. Now, England 2 tries to good, and they look electric on the ball.
Well, it almost looks as though England are living for the scoop, as if that's the play they want.
Well, the players that they've got at their disposal, you know, you've got the likes of Cooper Bainbridge, who's rapid, Ellis Watts, who's rapid. Brilliant defensive read there. And the defensive spacing at the moment for England is so good, not allowing any opportunities. There's an interception. Can he go full length? Does he have the wheels? Close race, he might get there. He will get there. Superb full length there.
Harry Court's going full court. Intercept on his own line, and enough pace to make it the full length. The chase was incredible, but just watch this back, and hats off to our cameramen as well for keeping up with this. My word, he was flying. The chase was coming in as well at pace from Dylan Davis, but no one stopping Harry Courts.
So good, and you can't teach that. You can't teach it. Some people have it, some people don't. You've either got wheels or not, and he certainly does. And Wales at the moment must be scratching their heads thinking, what have we got to do? Because we shut down your transition, you're able to scoop from 20 metres out and still find success. We're penning you back on the line, and you're able to intercept and go full length and still find the success. And at the moment, it's a real head scratcher. And Wales have just got to regroup and get some scores on the board if they can.
England, 3 scores to the good. Wales go wide. That burns his touch. But again, a good tactic from Wales in that it forces England to have to play from a long way from their box. But, well, we've seen 2 tries come from exactly that, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, and England at the moment on their transition are actually very content taking 2 up the middle and then working box side. So they're happy scooping from 20, 30 metres out. They know they've got the pace to do so. Here's another example. Great feet, offside player.
Well, as I say, it's almost like England want to scoop from range. They're so content to be doing that.
Yeah, well, we've got Meek sat to one side of us saying coaches have said that, and you know, you can see it a mile off. The pace is evident. Lovely pass.
The go wide as the diving touch come in. Oh, that is just a stunning finish over there on the far side. England, well, this is just already, and we're only 9 minutes in, one of the most sparkling performances of the day.
Seb Conahan just whipping the ball out to the wing. What a finish. And you know, the pace that they're playing at, if you'd have told me that this was men's open, I would believe it. The pace, the structure, the knowledge, it's all on display in Wales at the moment, just struggling to find any success.
Thomas Kerr with the finish, and a fantastic finish out on that far side. his side. 4 scores to the good. Wales might have just got across here. Not quite, not quite. Not even the length of Ed Maguire. Good enough to work that one. And the error comes in. Let's see if Wales can resist against this next England attack.
The initial dump from England in the middle is just engaging both of the Wales middles, and then they're always retreating as they roll through the transition, and that's exactly what England want, especially when you've got people like the Jacques brothers who can scoop from ages out and not have to worry about the speed. But that's a brilliant covering touch.
Yeah, Fraser Britton, full length, full dive to make that touch, and he had to be. It was the only way he was getting there. And so Wales try and work to their box, just struggling to get those initial yards, and there a lot of touches down here as they try and get past halfway. That's good energy though
Great
from Alec
yards.
Davis. He's had to work so hard there. He's doing his team a huge favour. Well played, that man. And Davis gets it again. That's the 6, but I'll tell you what, the work of Alec Davis has probably brought his team 25 metres there.
Yeah, 100%. Brilliant work to recycle the touch. Realised it was 5th coming. Couldn't take the initial touch in a congested area. Worked it open side. It's just a shame that when the touch was made, there was no half there to add some real pace and accelerate onto it, like England have been able to do so well. Offside defender. Long ball goes. They're there in the corner again. Might be given as a forward pass. It is on this occasion, but it just shows England constantly threatening, happy to scoop from 30 out, backing their pace. And you know, when you're playing against a team with such confidence, they're happy to scoop. You know, close to halfway at times. It really does show how good these people are. And a lot of the guys on the pitch at the moment will be future men's opens players, future mixed opens players. It just shows the level of touch in England at the moment. It's far surpassing anything we've previously had.
So Wales 4 behind, 12 minutes in. Desperate to just find a score and to really threaten this England line. Over the head pass. Could have been genius, could have been panic, we'll never know. Didn't go to hand though, so England will have a nice place from which to launch possession. Although the way this England side are playing, I sort of wonder if they prefer going from their own try line so they can use up some touches.
Yeah. Do you know what? I kind of want to see them scoop from their own half, because they're finding success no matter where they're playing from. Just taking a few touches in the midfield, and now they start to drive forward. Cooper Bainbridge into Sam Thorpe, back to Sam Thorpe. NQ boys linking up lovely in the middle. Dylan Mudge takes the touch, bit of a shove. We love the physical nature. Sam Thorpe takes the ball, 32, early release, and they get the offside call.
Wales probably not unhappy to give away the offside there, in the sense that it's just a slightly more formalised set that they've got to face now. Something, a shape they're more used to seeing, perhaps. England pushing, probing. Can they find a bit of space? Well, almost the drop ball, almost creating the space for Cooper Bainbridge. Wales just getting the touch in, but it's all that classic adage, isn't it, that the error can sometimes create the space. Bainbridge.
Oh, so good, so good.
Dummy option that time. And the dummy option because creating space around him, Dylan Madge, and just placing his man through the hole.
Really well worked score, really well worked score. The middles just collapse underneath the touch and it opens the space up in the link channel, and Dylan Madge is too good not to pick his eyes up and find the option. And at the moment, this is a real statement from England.
5-0 their lead. Playing with such confidence. Another fired pass out wide. Again, somewhat tactically to try and force England to play away from their box, but it just doesn't seem to trouble them whatsoever. Just seem happy to take these touches deep in their own half and just ease their way to the box, eating up yards, and Wales just retreating backwards and backwards in defence. And
oh, lovely.
soon, well, just the momentum stopped as they overrun it slightly. So this time the pattern not quite working for England, as it has done so many times already today.
I'm unsure if they needed to check that ball off in the midfield. Maybe the right option was just to take the ball down and then have a go at the retreating defence. Welsh are starting to become wise to some of the tricks that England are deploying, so it'll be interesting to see going towards the end of this first half and then into the second half if England maybe slightly adjust some of their tactics just to continue to build this pressure that they've created throughout the entirety of this first half.
Well, Wales have a bit of possession. They've got it in a good part of the field. Let's see if they can do something. Touch comes in.
Oh, good feet. Unlucky.
Rhys Rutley almost stepping himself there. But again, it's England possession deep in this corner. It's theoretically hardest place on the field for them to play from, but well, let's see.
Yeah. Take 2 touches up the middle, then find the box winger, and now they start to move expansive. Fifth coming, Sam Thorpe taking the dump. No, feeds off to Cooper. Cooper feeds off to Ellis Watts. Ellis Watts feeds off to the winger, and that is just core skills, catch and pass to perfection.
Harry Courts with the score, but once again, England from the hardest part on the field, just with such pace, such precision, but actually such calmness as well, work their way through all the way up for a lovely Harry Courts try, and 6-0, and they've just been spectacular.
Yeah, I was able to speak to Cooper and Sam and Ellis before the game, and they were saying that their experience at men's open level, playing NTS for NQ and the like, some of the very best touch clubs in England, it's just allowing them to roll into these sort of scenarios with that composure, the maturity, picking right options, remaining calm under pressure. At the moment, England just look too good.
England then, this time they have to just wait for a couple of their players to roll through, but only by a second or so. So they challenge this Welsh defence. Could be some space on the left-hand side, so they do check that way. Welsh drift is good, though. Now they try and engineer something. It could be a little space. Moving the ball really nicely, but it's intercepted by Wales. How's the footwork? It's pretty good, but the cover is really, really good in defence from Thomas Kerr. As Wales sought to go the length there just for half a second. It looked like they might, but the gap was closed, and now they come across to this near side, and Zach Burns, he fights through for a couple of extra meters.
Yeah, England doing a really good job at stunting any momentum that Wales are trying to develop on their transition. And Wales at the moment having to move the ball in areas they probably wouldn't like to in order to create any separation. Obstruction call from the referee, just crossing over. And England will take a slow roll ball in order to get fresh legs on. And with just under 2 minutes to go, England look to go and put another one on the board.
Well, the way they've gone, you wouldn't put it past them playing with that electricity. Archie Devlin feels like the man to keep an eye on in this play. He's the one that all the play has buzzed through when he's been on the field. There he is in that number 2 shirt, getting the ball back. Can he create something? No, bounces out of that one, evades the touch.
One more.
And there could be some space. Draw and give, and the try will be there on the far side. You can push them this way, you can push them out, but you cannot stop this England side from terrorising you. They are quite simply magnificent. I'm just trying to make out the number of the try scorer. I think it might be Thomas Kerr again, but he's trotted across to this near side. We'll let him turn his back to me at some point, hopefully, and I'll bring you exactly who that was. What can Wales do in response? It was indeed Thomas Kerr getting another try. He's been the beneficiary of a couple of big plays. And Wales have a look to that right-hand side. Touch comes in from England. Still Welsh ball though. I think one of the Welsh players has just gone over his ankle there actually as he...
It looked like a pulled calf for me. A little bit of cramp maybe setting in.
The way he's stretching it out, it does look like it's probably more cramp than an actual pull. Good news is a replacement has come on and he's made his way over to the far side and he is trying to stretch it out. I think it probably is a bit of cramp. I'm not surprised. The temperature has actually gone up incredibly. And that is the half-time hooter. Well, Joe, what a first half.
I mean, it's just blistering pace from England, and you know, some of the English lads looking slightly tired, and I'm not surprised. They've run at unreal pace at the Welsh defence, and the Welsh defence just have not been able to cope with anything England are putting down. And you know, early doors we were complimenting Wales on their transition defence, forcing England to scoop from the Wales 10. Doesn't matter, absolutely doesn't matter. The pace, the direction is too much, and England just looks so comfortable at the moment.
Well, I think that's the thing. I mean, if it's hard to know what Wales can do. It feels as though they've not done much wrong. They've done all the things you tell them that they should do here. They're just simply unable to contain this utterly electric England attack.
Yeah, and I think the body language in the two boxes really sum it up. Wales are breathing deep, sat down. England light on their feet, wandering round, chatting, very lethargic, very laid back. Yeah, Wales, yeah, like you say, haven't done all that much wrong. Rather solid transition defence. Yes, maybe getting played around a little bit too easily, rolling as well. You're just allowing people to come at pace at you if you're rolling backwards. But in attack, they've not really been able to show anything of note, and not due to a lack of ability, but due to the pressure that England are applying, always flying off the line. And when you've got a team that's constantly coming up at you, constantly in your face, you do struggle to have time on the ball.
And just, I guess, for the uninitiated watching, and you know, it's a young audience here. There's probably a lot of people watching who haven't played that much touch, or you know, want to learn more about the game. Explain what it is that England are doing that is so good.
God, how do you do that in a few words? Pace, understanding. I think those are the two big things. They're running structures that are extremely well drilled, and that's hard enough to do as it is. But then to be able to run it at full pace, commit defenders, back your hands, have the interpersonal relationships, anything and everything you would want from a touch side, England are demonstrating. We had Meek sat to our right of us, and I was talking to him very briefly during the game, and he was saying if this England side went into the Opens Euros, they'd do very well and they would compete very well, and we've still got an under-20s division as well. And it just shows the level of touch and the level of coaching as well. You know, Will Upton, genius, borderlines on genius, and they're very happy to scoop from far out, as you can see, and because they all understand our game plan is to scoop from far out because we can back our pace. The dumps for the scoop are so crisp, moving the defenders out of the way for the scooping player to go through, and that just allows that player to get hands on ball and pin his ears back and go straight.
And it's that pace you speak of. At first glance it almost looks frenetic, but then when you see it replicated over and over, you realise it's just pure precision play, just done at real pace. And actually a lot of the things they're doing are not hugely complex. You know, we've seen a number of tries where it's just been simple hands, but it's been simple hands executed perfectly at pace, ball right in front of the ball carrier, and it's just precision. Yeah,
absolute precision. And you know, I almost feel for Wales because they've not made any, you know, big errors. They've not turned over the ball all that much. They've done what they can, and England are still able to just take it up gears and keep running hard, keep being direct. They all understand what they're doing. It's very clear from up here that in each individual pod there are players designed for certain roles, and we were saying earlier in the day that could work against you, because if those players aren't in the right position, then do you worry about progressing? Do you then stop the play to get people? No, none of that for England. They're aware of, okay, if you're not in the right position, I've got the skill set to do that also. And if the dumper's not in the right place, I'll dump the ball for you. If the scooper's not in the right place, I'll scoop the ball for you. And having threats in every single person on the pitch is just proving too much for this Welsh side to deal with.
It certainly is. It's been a quite astonishing first half performance from England. As we say, Wales have done little wrong. Hard to know what they can change in the second half, but without doubt they will have been discussing that at half time, and we'll have a plan of some sort. Perhaps it's a quirky defensive structure, perhaps it's a more off-the-cuff attacking structure. We'll find out over the course of this half, and we'll find out what more this England side can do, if anything. Seems like the ceiling has already been met, but you never know. They seem as though they can kind of do anything out there at the moment, such is their quality.
I mean, this is just superb. Just passing around Wales with absolute ease. Absolute ease. You know, this is third coming, and they're at the line ready. 32 structure, longs called, long balls on, catch, ground, and it is more of the same from England. Absolutely superb, just passing around Wales, no problem. Generating space, no problem. Picking the right options, no problem.
It's Harry Courts again with the finish, who must be thinking he's the luckiest man in Nottingham today. Just collecting tries out there as people just feed him the ball in acres of space.
You'd love to be a winger in this side. Those stats are flattering you, definitely, because the wings are always on, because the defence has got to be so compact to deal with the stepping issues and problems of the England players that the wings are stood in acres of space.
Good position this for Wales. Could be an opportunity if they could have given that ball. He needed a shout there, he just needed to give that the tip pass, and he was away. 6 through though, England defend it well, but Wales just getting themselves in a position there where they at least had the possibility of an opening. And right now, possibilities feel like a bit of a win for Wales, I suspect. The knowledge that they could do something. And England going to go from the 10 here.
Oh, lovely. Ellis Watts just taking the touch. Sam Thorpe, Cooper, Sam Thorpe. The hands are too slick. Back to Sam Thorpe. Sam Thorpe takes the dump. Nope, touch hasn't come. Takes the dump now. Splits. Receives the ball back. Cooper Bainbridge. Aussies in Ellis Watts. Ellis Watts back to Sam Thorpe. Ellis on the long. Looks to create separation. Steps back on the inside. Can't quite find the option, but Wales are offside.
6 more for England. They've not wasted many of these opportunities. Wales are going to have to be defensively solid, but at least a structure for them to defend against, they'll be thinking.
Oh, lovely. Just knocked the ball out of hand. That's a lovely variation there from Sam Thorpe. Takes the long, steps back, was looking for the pill to Cooper. Doesn't quite happen, and they run the long.
Good covering touch there from Zach Burns, just recognising that the body angles meant the ball wasn't going to go wide, so just jammed in, made the touch.
Brilliant read. Quickie, Sam Thorpe.
Diving for the line, soft signalled from the ref, looks like it's try, but
I think Sam's made the
England
decision.
Have kicked it back to the halfway line. It took a while. It was a very, very soft signal from the referee. Tentative almost, a finger out rather than an arm out. But Sam Thorpe has the score.
Yeah.
And England are up to 9.
Yeah. It was almost one of those, so it's such a delicate play that, you know, touching defender didn't know if he'd made it. Sam didn't really know if it was down. Referee wasn't sure what had come first. In the end, Sam just makes a decision, kicks the ball back, says, yeah, we'll take that score. And Wales now got to push to get something out of this game. Long ball to the Link, but the Link can't reel it in. Much of these passes have just been behind the players running the lines. It means you've got to check your run to reel it in. Whereas England, all of the passes have been out in front, not had to check the run. Always reeling it in stride.
And I guess the challenge here for Wales, you know, particularly as these are still young players, is probably about maintaining the confidence and enthusiasm throughout the rest of the game and not committing too many silly penalty offences, because otherwise the score can start to get quite messy if they just start to dip the heads and let the shoulders slump.
Yeah, and I think we saw a little bit of that hard push from Wales, just surrendering a really good opportunity for England. And the Jacques brothers on the ball now. Long. Jacques got the ball. Oh, lovely pass, lovely ground, lovely score. And it's just proving all too easy.
Wales desperate for the forward pass to be given, but nothing doing from the refereeing team. Thomas Kerr with yet another score, and I think it would have been very hard done by if that had been given forward.
Yeah, definitely. You've seen
and that's coming from me.
The forward pass connoisseur to my left gives it the seal of approval.
It did actually drift forward, to be fair to the Wales players, but it was a very much backwards out the hands and did actually start backwards. It just drifted forwards as momentum took it there. Wales, what can they do? 10 down. They've just got to use these possessions they do get to the best extent they can, and almost just forget about what the opposition is doing and just play their game. And they're going to go wide, or almost look to tap it in. And again, a little bit of feistiness on the ball return there. Just got to keep their heads. A bit of a firm touch too.
Oh, lovely.
England just gliding forwards up the pitch, and now Archie Devlin's on and in possession, and we've seen what a threat he is, and now they just scoop it up, and Devlin has the ball and bounces it off to Conaghan. Conaghan goes down. Now Devlin has it again. Devlin's got a gap. Devlin through the gap, scores the try, and England take it out to 11.
Yeah, it's just too fast, too direct. Archie Devlin just goes over. They've stuck to this 32 platform. They keep running the long, getting on the outside of the tucking middle, and then it's just a race for the line, and Devlin's got all of the speed to get over. And typically you see in touch you have an attack pod, a defence pod, and a transition pod. Well, all three pods for England can do all three of those jobs, so it doesn't matter who scores, who defends, who's in that little transitional role. Every single person with an England shirt on this pitch is doing their jobs immaculately. And they force a really good turnover, good dominant push on. Gets the hips not square, and now they can roll into this devastating sub move.
Ball just got left behind a touch there, but I don't think that will worry them too much as they start to just roll through beyond the halfway line. Oh, they're just eating up yards with consummate ease. It is quite a joy to behold, and fast hands, and it's going to be another try, and it's going to be Thomas Kerr with another. I've lost count of how many tries Thomas Kerr has. He is just waiting patiently out there on the wing while those inside of him just feed him tries.
Yeah, what's amazing about this team as well is the past few scores haven't been special. It's just the core skills of touch done immaculately. Dylan Madge with an amazing strike dump in behind the retreating defenders, and then it's just pick up, hands, done perfectly, always engaging defenders, not giving the pass too early.
Well, it's very reminiscent in rugby union of the All Blacks, in that are they doing anything that special, particularly when they're at the peak of their powers? Yes, of course they were. They had some very, very good players doing some very, very good things, but actually the standout feature was just executing core skills better than anyone else on the planet, and that's what this England side are doing. They're just executing core skills so well.
Yeah, and it's the small things that make the difference, like speed of the roll ball. Look, balls down, half a second, off the floor. Balls down, okay, maybe 1 second, off the floor. And now Dylan Madge on the ball, injects pace, off the floor quickly, and then it's the hands. This is fifth coming now. Wales have defended this transition really well. That's fifth, so they've got a scoop. And the ball just gets left behind, and Wales defending the transition very well on that occasion.
It's the first time England have looked uncomfortable on the scoop, actually, and Wales perhaps finding the key to putting them under a bit of pressure.
Yeah, and Wales starting to get a little bit niggly at some of the little things that are going on, complaining at some of the touches. But this level of physicality is what we love to see, especially in the boys' game that will be the men's game in a few years' time. You've got to get used to this level of contact.
Fraser Britton. Interception from England, so they're just going to work their way up the field. Sweeping up the field now.
Oh, Sam Thorpe just eating up the yards. Then checking back off on the inside to Cooper Bainbridge. Cooper Bainbridge dumps. Sam Thorpe scoops. 1,
2 on 1
2.
on the outside. And it's another try, this time for Harry Courts. Him and Thomas Kerr are the two that are just loving life there in the wide channels, and Harry Courts will take that all day long, but Sam Thorpe probably claiming credit for that one on the way back.
I truthfully believe that if we recorded ourselves saying ball down, scoop, hands, score in the corner, we could just go home now and just leave that on repeat.
Yeah, I'd be halfway down the M1. We could have just done that. Easy. Easy. But then I'd have missed out on getting to watch this, and I tell you what, it's an absolute treat.
And what a reward for the people on the stream who stuck through all the way through the end of the day. You're getting treated to what is the best caliber of touch that we've had. Oh, what a brilliant read as well. Superb defensive read. They've shown their offensive prowess. They force the dump. Dumper plants the ball, then goes to pick it up himself. Can't do that. Brilliant turnover. And England will launch from deep. What's nice about this England transition as well is I don't think at one occasion have we seen a hips not square, off the mark.
The error count has been incredibly low, hasn't it?
It's just superb. I mean,
you may have heard, we have the air ambulance on site, so if you are exiting the premises, you have to go through the hockey club. All exiting through the hockey club.
They look for the long, bit of a static setup. They recycle, they understand we're not going to force things that aren't what we want. Long, again, 3 on 2. Potentially the wrong option, and it doesn't matter. Thought the link hole was wide open. But instead they pick the harder option, go to the wing. Superb. Yeah, link hole way open. Go to the wing instead.
That's a stunning finish from Bailey Blackburn. Absolutely no space to work with, and Bailey Blackburn able to get there. And it's 14-0 to England now. And again, Wales really haven't done that much wrong here. They're just facing a side that are so on it, with so much quality. I mean, in many ways, sounds patronising to say, but they're doing well to keep the score as tight as it is, because this England team just looks as though every time they have the ball, they could potentially score, and Wales have had to put in some really solid defensive shifts just to prevent that from happening.
England are just, I think the easiest way to describe it is they're just comfortable. They are enjoying their touch.
And the referee's just going to have a little word with the Wales players here. The touches have been getting a little firmer and firmer as frustration starts to set in, and he's just going to put an end to that. And it is, in fact, a forced sub, I think. I don't think the Wales player was quite aware that that was what had happened. But it is a forced sub. Wales defending with 5 at the moment, and you don't want to be doing that against this England team.
There we go.
You really don't want to be doing that against this England team. Dylan Madge, the beneficiary of the extra space. England, the overall beneficiaries. 15-0 they stretch it out to.
Yeah, these are men's open structures as well, by the way. This isn't Mickey Mouse touch. These are men's open structures, running the long with the link, hitting the hole at pace. Dylan Madge smiling as he grounds the ball. They've enjoyed this one. And what's nice, I guarantee that this is the case. We will see this boys' side back on the live stream, and they will then start running the variations. They will start running the inside runner coming off the back of the long. They'll start running the short, the Aussie early release. Their playbook will be so deep, and the fact that they've had to stick to one structure, which is the long, and then long balls off the back of that, and they've been able to make easy work of this Welsh side. I think it's just too good. They're a side that's too well drilled, and Wales just struggling to keep up.
England slowing the pace down for once.
Oh, there's a collector's item. I think that might be the first roll ball infringement from England.
Well, it's the first time they've slowed the pace down. That'll be why.
Yeah, maybe you've just got to keep running at full tilt the entire time and the roll ball will fix itself. But the timing of the release in their press is exquisite. Always up in the line, not once been called for offside, talking to the refs, asking, am I good, am I good? As soon as they get that yes, they're right up in it. And this is fifth now, and unlike England, Wales can't scoot from this far out. They don't have the disguise, they don't have the speed and precision. And England probably feel a little bit frustrated that they turned the ball over, have forced a really solid turnover right on halfway. And here comes the danger pod. Dylan Madge, Sam Thorpe, Cooper Bainbridge. Cooper splits inside, receives the ball back from Sam Thorpe. Big step. Oh, lovely inside ball. Oh, referee gets wiped out. But it's superb touch, might get called back for a slightly forward pass. And England just flexing their muscles now, starting to deviate from the 32 long platform. Enjoying their work out there with 3.5 minutes to go.
Little touch to the face there from Wales, just showing a few of their frustrations. 3.5 minutes to go. And it's hard not to get frustrated if you are Wales. That feeling, and we've all been there in sport before, where you feel as though you're not doing a huge amount wrong. There's just nothing you can do in the sea of what's coming at you, and it really has felt like a sea of England attack through this game. As again, they just engineer the space, and Dylan Madge scoring, and now he's got a couple through that link position.
It's just really good work from Cooper and Sam. Cooper's in at far middle here, comes in, splits, cuts opposite, dummy, and then the link has to bite, and Dylan Madge has the intelligence to hold his space and hit the hole at pace. And 16 tries to 0 is, I mean, if you can't call this emphatic, what can? What can you?
Well, somewhat terrifyingly, this is not necessarily the best England side we're going to see this weekend, because the men's under-20s are on first thing tomorrow morning.
Yeah, and that is a very scary prospect. Very scary prospect. I'd love to see the 18s and the 20s go toe-to-toe.
Wales almost away, but the touch comes in from Ellis Watts. Joshua Jones going as close as any Welshman has so far today, and he's just having a chat with the ref saying that he didn't much like that one, but I think he was just about to dive as the touch came in, and, and that's why he ended up going tumbling. His body was in such an angle that it took almost no contact. No fault of his, just physics. Wales. They've got a chance here to create something.
Yeah, hips not square at the base of the ruck, and it's just easy for England at the moment. They move together as a unit in defence and always getting back off the line. The fitness levels have been immaculate. The understanding of the game plan that they're trying to implement is insane. And look, they're just eating up yards for fun. That's third touch at halfway, starting from their own 7, fourth touch, and they've got the two twins on. Great hands, great feet. Oh, the tap on nearly nearly comes off. Not quite. And now Wales trying to launch from deep. 50 seconds remain. And it's just too good. England forcing mistake after mistake after mistake.
And we're into the final 30 seconds here. Will England finish it with a score? Or could Wales perhaps just nick one at the end? They'd love to get one, but England are going to be so determined, probably more so than scoring, to finish this with a 0 on the other score sheet. Big touch coming in. England fancied the penalty there, but I think the referees are just going to say to them, you just go and try and score, lads. And that may well be exactly what they're going to do. Dylan Madge diving, did the touch come in? Yes, it just did. It just did, and we're moving very close to final play territory. Indeed we are. The touch comes in. It's all over. The pain over for Wales, the joy over for England. It was a tough outing for the Welsh, but they're going to have to sit and remember just how little they did wrong in this game. They gave it their best, and sometimes you just come up against a better team. And it finishes up here to end the day with England winning 16-0 against Wales, and, well, a stunning performance.
Oh, it's just superb. I mean, what more can you ask for a team? Like I said at halftime, I was speaking to Cooper and Sam and Ellis, and they were saying, like, we're up for this, we're ready for it, we want to make a big statement, and that's exactly what they did. Making such positive statements. 16 tries to 0 is just absolutely outrageous. It's not a scoreline you hear very often. And this Welsh side did not do anything wrong, really. They were just, dare I say, outclassed in the end.
Yeah, they certainly were. I mean, it was a tough one for them, but a fantastic performance from England, and in the context of what this weekend is all about, the experience for all the other players at this tournament, everyone on the touchlines, everyone watching on the live stream, the experience of seeing a performance of that quality from players of that age is something that is going to live very, very long in the memory. But I'll tell you what, it's not going to have to live that long in the memory in terms of what we're watching, because we are back at it at 8:30 tomorrow morning. And I mentioned it just a moment ago on commentary, Joe. Might even go up a level, because first game tomorrow morning, USA against England, men's under-20s level. If that's the under-18s, by definition the under-20s must be better.
Oh,
my
well,
word.
You'd like to think so. You would like to think so, but I do have to quickly remind everyone, some of the players in that 18 squad are also eligible for the 15s. So that just shows the depth of ability that they have in this age group. And I think the 20s will be watching this going, we've got to put a performance on now.
Well, it is absolutely extraordinary. It's been a wonderful day here. We've had wind, we've had sun, we've had rain, we've had rainbows, we've had the whole works. We had a gale force wind blowing down the length of the pitch. The sun has come out just as the day ends, which is a bit of a shame. I've managed to finally take my coat off, but hey ho, let's hope for more of the same tomorrow. I'm told it's going to be wet at Old Trafford, but maybe it'll be dry here at Nottingham University, just down the road from Trent Bridge. We can only hope, hey? But join us tomorrow morning. It all starts at 8:30. We've got 2 more days this fantastic competition, a full day of action tomorrow, and then on Sunday is finals day. So please do stay with us. It's been an absolutely fantastic day of touch rugby here at the Atlantic Youth Touch Cup here at Nottingham University. Stay with us for tomorrow, 8:30 start. It's going to be brilliant.